welcome back to Posh Talk. I'm your host, Sierra, and welcome back. This is episode 34. I'm super excited to talk and be here. It's definitely, okay, I'm dropping everything, I'm coming undone. Um, I'm definitely excited to be back. I When I dropped my last episode, I was supposed to come back the episode directly after that. And then as I was writing episode notes, I fell ill. Flu season definitely came and whooped my behind. And of course, if you've ever been sick or had anything in the upper respiratory system that just doesn't, it's not doing the thing that it needs to do and you can't breathe, you sound weird. And I didn't want to record like that. So then that turned 1 week off to 2 weeks off, and I'll have to get my whole life together because my whole life was off for 2 weeks and now we're here. I'm done with the excuses. I'm ready to just not have anymore. I'm ready just to get things out and going. So yes, here we are, and I'm excited to be here. So, today we're going to be talking about a few things. And the theme of this episode, really, since I was supposed to record it when it was still low key January and wrapping up January, but now we're in the middle of February, which is okay. Happy belated Valentine's Day. We had a great one. But it's still Q1, and we still want to make 2025 posh. And, you know, I know some of you have fell off of your resolutions, your goals, because hey, me too. Like, there's a couple things that I wanted to have done that I thought would kind of be like already habitual by now. That's not. And it's okay because, like I said, it's Q1, there's still time. However, I wanted to just give you a little motivation and I guess a couple gems so you know that all is not lost, and we can still make this 2025 count. And just because you didn't start on the first or even the second or the third, you can still make it a revolutionary year just because we're still in the beginning. So don't lose hope. So number one, start when you are ready. I'm a big advocate for starting when you're ready because I feel like starting prematurely when it comes to anything, or just being ill prepared when you're ready to start a new venture, or just starting because other people feel like you should start. I feel like it never ends well because it didn't start well. Your foundation for everything you need to do needs to lie within you, and there needs to be a passion involved. So with that being said, start when you're ready, not when your grandma think you're ready, your auntie think you should, or when your parents are pushing you to do it. Like, you need to start when you feel like you're most confident in your ability, and your willingness to show up, and just you're really confident in yourself to stay consistent and meet those goals and have a higher expectation for yourself. So start when you're ready. um and when you do start, my second point is you have to push through the burn. So pushing through the burn necessarily means pushing through the burn means when you're starting, it's not going to be comfortable. You're going to be very uncomfortable because this is new, uncharted territory for whatever it is. Whether you're starting a business, you're starting new health goals, you're trying to, pick up on a better habit, you just have to push through the burn. It's going to be days where you're like, I really don't feel like this. This is just feels super abnormal, and I really just want to give up, and I just want to forget that I even made this goal because why did I think I could do this? You have to push through that. You have to also give yourself like small realistic goals through that, because like for instance, when I know I've gone to the gym and then I'll be real consistent and then I stop going for like a month or two, and then I have to like go back, it feels a little bit different. It just inherently is. My rule of thumb is, okay, when you're trying to go back to the gym and you really want to like start getting into it and you don't want to feel like you're about to die every time, go consistently 3 times. After day 3, this is just me, I'm usually not feeling like I'm about to die, like I'm not about to pass out in them people place and melt all over the floor. I usually don't feel like that after day 3. So after I'm like, okay, I got through my day 3, I can keep going. I can make it to day 4. I can have a rest day and then do that. And I can repeat it week after week after week. And I just say if I can get through day 3, I can make it to day 30. If I can make it to day 30, I can make it to month 3. And if I can make it to month 3, I can do 6 and 12. So I feel like pushing through the burn and having real like small strategic goals set, you're good. And my next one is celebrating celebrate small strategic wins. So I kind of already talked about the small strategic wins, but sometimes we only celebrate when we make it to like a huge milestone. Like if you're trying to grow an Instagram page, you may only celebrate when you get to 10,000 followers. It's going to take a lot for something to get to 10,000 followers unless something dramatic or something just out of the ordinary happens, which that doesn't happen for everyone. Could happen for you, but just based off of how pages grow and everything, it's just not something that's normal. So you always have to celebrate those small strategic wins. So like I say, celebrate if you did go to the gym 3 times this week and you don't usually do that. That's a good small strategic wins. Now, be smart with these small strategic wins. Don't go off on a binger thinking like, you know what, I can have my cheat meal because I went to the gym 3 times. That's not what that means. That means like, you know what, I deserve a smoothie, a good smoothie. Something that kind of makes sense for your goals. If you do are trying to grow like an Instagram account, it's okay to celebrate getting 1,000 followers. Any type of small one is small. If anyone hates on your small one, you don't need them around anyway. Like they can go if they have something to say. And most time they're not. They're just gonna hate watch, and that's fine too because that gains traction, that makes you money, whatever. But celebrate your small strategic wins. If you are in school and you've completed, your first semester, that's a small strategic win. Of course, you're trying to get to the finish line of graduations, but celebrating those small wins of passing all of like your first exams, though, that's important. Those things matter because without that kind of stone that you're laying, without that brick being laid, you will never get to the full house at the end. So definitely celebrate your small wins so you can get through the year and power through, reach those goals. And then lastly, change one thing you lack. So with goal setting, which I could have honestly put this at the top, but I guess I put this at the bottom before. Maybe this fever was setting in when I was making this list. But it's okay. We're gonna move. We move. So change one thing you lack. When I made this, I was thinking like, okay, if I were to, make goals for this year and set a higher expectation for myself and thinking of like what that would look like, I was like, you know what? I would like to change, one thing about myself. Or just changing one thing I lack. And it can be something small. If you want to do something big, it could be something big. But mine was just like, you know what? Since I've been a full-time entrepreneur now, I started waking up later, and so I wanted to start waking up earlier. So that was just one thing that I wanted to change. And I would say that's kind of like weird wording how I have it change one thing you lack, but I feel like I was kind of lacking in, I would say that what's the word? The word is escaping me and it's super simple. Um why can't I think of the word? Okay, anyway. I was lacking in, I'm just going to say, those little bits of moments in the morning that I need just to center myself, whether it be to meditate, pray, talk to God. I feel like I was missing that. So I was just like, even if it's just 30 minutes earlier, I think mine might be an hour, but even if it's 30 minutes earlier, that's still 30 minutes that you dedicate to doing something positive in your day. And it's okay. Now, I wouldn't say wake up 30 minutes and scroll, even though that happens. I could be better at it. I really could. However, we're trying to be the poshest version of ourselves, and with that comes accountability and transparency. So while I may not be perfect at all of these things, it's definitely something that I'm working at, and it's a work in progress. So definitely changing one thing that you lack will really put you on an upward trajectory for whatever you want to do this year. So yeah, that's my little list for how to make 2025 posh. And I hope that you guys are well on to your goals through the year. It's February now. We're still in Q1. We're almost wrapping up with March, but there's still so much ahead of us. So it's like this is like a horrible time just to give up on your goals. Like, push through, do the things that you need to do. definitely, if you haven't started something but know you want to start, like I said, start when you're ready, but still definitely be planning on whatever it is that you want to do, because you can get through it and you can succeed. All right. So that was our entrepreneurship segment. Actually, I shouldn't mention that, but that was our entrepreneurship segment. That was called Posh Assets. I actually did swap it out for um the Year in My Business segment. We're not doing that anymore because I don't want to do that anymore. We're switching it up. So the Posh Assets are just going to be certain things that I kind of drop on you guys that I feel are useful nuggets. There might be things that I just feel in my heart that I want to talk about and share. Or there might be things that I did some research on and I just kind of want to share with y'all too. So, Posh Assets, they'll just be little things that you can just take with you and use at, your discretion. So moving on, we're going to go to our no strings attached segment, and this is our relationship segment. So with that, we're going to be talking about business relationships. I think last time I usually talk about familial and like friendships and everything, but I don't talk a lot about business relationships and networking. So when I created this outline for today's episode, like I said, it was January and I think I did one networking event. And I just been trying to be more intentional about the networking events that I go to, sharing my business, sharing my brand, and just connecting with other business professionals. It's something I definitely recommend for anyone to do if you're trying to spread awareness about what you are. Well, I should say who you are, what you do, and just how you want to show up in whatever industry you're in. Networking is definitely king. And I know people kind of drill this out and it gets kind of drowned out. And it's like yada, yada, yada. Like you're always talking about networking. But networking really is important. Even if it's like something super small of just, being in the room and listening to others, which is something I personally like to do when I'm networking. But just being in the room, listening to others, asking people about themselves, because people love to talk about themselves, especially if one of their goals is to share their influence or how they got to where they're going. Even if that's your goal, you're never going to lose with that. Like almost everything in the business sense is transferable, whether they're in a whole nother industry than you. Those things can be powerful. Whatever tips, the tricks that they have from their journey, they can definitely transfer over into your journey because either you've seen it before or you just haven't seen it yet. So networking is definitely great, and it's something that I would recommend anybody doing this year, especially if you're starting a new venture or you've been in business for a while and you may feel like you're in a rut, or you just kind of want to see that extra growth, or you just kind of want to add something new to your business or to your connections. Networking is definitely great. um Definitely get out there and just network, and find, I would say, find networking opportunities. I wouldn't recommend always going to paid things unless you know it's definitely going to benefit you. Like, I actually just went to a networking event. It was just a really great event. I learned so much. I met so many beautiful women, and it was honestly inspiring. Um, for through like I would say it was just more inspiring than anything. In that event, I wasn't more so looking into sharing my brand, which I did. I'm always gonna bring a business card and a digital card. Like, hello, I'm branding and marketing, babe. Like, let's be for real. But through that event, um I feel like I just learned so much about how different women are, how we all are kind of like in this world, and we have to figure out and navigate what passions we have and how we want to align that with our businesses. And it was just so good to see so many women like committed to being smart, beautiful, brave, like working in male dominated industries and thriving in it. It was just so cool to see all of that in one room. And these are ladies who are professionals in the medical field, in the tech field, and it was just really cool and inspiring. And I was interested in going because I want to get into more tech things just with my business, with providing websites. I want to provide more robust options. And I also just want to make sure that I'm giving people the latest and greatest things when I give them offerings for any type of tech product that I offer them or any type of digital branding that I provide. Ladies Athletic Club of Atlanta, the lovely lady who gifted me the tickets, and that was Asanta. She was great. Yeah, her story was great as well. But yeah, so anyway, the no strings attached relationships. I kind of went off on a tangent. Sorry, y'all. But definitely my tips and my kind of like takeaways from having that moment, it inspired this section. And so making new connections, I would say, is something that I think we don't prioritize a lot in our businesses. And I would say just working a regular 9 to 5. I know personally it's not something that I prioritize as much as, and I wish I kind of did. Um, but yeah, making those new connections by like dusting off your LinkedIn, getting involved, and just shooting your shot. So dusting off your LinkedIn, a lot of people are just kind of like, LinkedIn, why would I use LinkedIn? Like, that's for old people or like whatever. And LinkedIn is like a really good asset for connecting with people. Like almost all the ladies in there, they had their like LinkedIn codes out, and I was just like, okay, I have LinkedIn, but I've never shared the actual code with people. But these are ladies who are really locked into their industry and they're really passionate and love what they do. So of course they're going to be on LinkedIn and it's going to be nice and everything like that. So I would definitely encourage you to dust off your LinkedIn, whatever industry you're in. It doesn't do anything but help you, because even if you're looking for new opportunities, you can have it open that you're looking for new opportunities and people can find you on there. Um, you can find other people who are actually have openings for job. I would say when I was looking for another position with something, I was looking for marketing positions and I saw, like, okay, so I'll give you tea on how I did it. If you were looking for a job right now and you want to have like a guaranteed talk to somebody or an interview, okay, first things first, make sure that you like have your LinkedIn brushed up, cleaned up. Like, make sure your banner looks like something. Make sure it's your name fully stated. Make sure it says like what you fully represent and all those things. And you know, you have your 3 things of what you specialize in. I think mine says like marketing and branding, social media, something, and analytical. I could be wrong, but it's something like that. But that's just your example. Make sure your all of your most important job positions are updated and they're there, and just making sure like you just look like a clean cut, clear candidate from the jump if somebody logs onto your LinkedIn. Okay, so now that that's good, whatever job that you're interested in, don't look for it on LinkedIn. Look for it on the actual company's internal website, and then apply. Save the rec number. Then you go to LinkedIn and then you look for the HR personnel who's over hiring. It's a plus if they say that they have open positions or whatever. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna send them a message, and it's gonna say like, "Hi, I recently applied to Rec. Da, 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 da. I'm so interested in your company. I think I would be a great fit." And then throw in some really other great stuff, like not like, "Oh, I'm a great worker." Like that's super generic, but something that feels authentic, but something that's still really professional and compelling. Like, think if it was you on the other side, like what would you want someone to say to you for you to click the thing? And don't make it super long. It doesn't have to be like a quick whatever, because odds are they're not even going to let you email that person unless you have like some LinkedIn premium thing, which they give you a free trial. Use your free trial if you have it. If you don't have a free trial, and you're looking for a job and you want it bad enough, pay for it. Do your big one, okay? It's not like $100, something super cheap. Just don't let it keep like, you know, don't forget about the subscription. Anyway, message them, and odds are, this is worked for me every time I've done it, they're going to message you back. And they're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, I would love to chat." And they're going to set up a little chat with you. And if they like whatever, they'll give you an interview, or they'll just send you through the interview process, if whatever. Because this nudge that you give them could either just make them look over you as a candidate, or it could just make them look over your actual application, and they'll just push it through and you get an interview. Someone told me to do that. I think I looked at it on Instagram and I didn't think it was gonna work. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it. And it does work. So with that being said, it's totally worth it to dust off your LinkedIn and just make sure it's presentable at all times. I do want mine to look a little bit better, but hey, do what you can. I am super busy and I'm doing what I can, okay? But it's presentable. So get involved. So with getting involved, I kind of briefly touched on it about going to networking opportunities, events. If you can't find anything in your city or whatever's going on, look on Eventbrite, use Google, ask around. There's always some type of networking event going on. Now, am I telling you to go to 50, 100 boss brunches? No. Be very skeptical of all like paid events or things like that. Most networking events that are kind of like good, they're not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Like it's going to actually be something valuable and you're going to be able to go. Like I think I just signed up for an Adobe something event or whatever. I forgot what product is specifically for, but it's a free event. Like I don't have to pay to go to that, but I'm going to go just because I work in Adobe all the time. I'm recording in Adobe right now. I edit in Adobe. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm interested in whatever products or new advancements they have going on. And I'm going there because you never know who you'll meet there. Could be another job opportunity lined up. Also could be other entrepreneurs there and you just kind of want to connect with them. Yeah, it's always good to just get involved or what just get involved. And it makes sense for me to go because like I said, I use Adobe products all the time. So why would I not be interested in whatever they have coming out? So, yeah, and I kind of briefly talked about shooting your shot in the LinkedIn thing, but don't be afraid. Shoot your shot. And that doesn't mean like try to ask somebody out on a date all the time. That just means that if you do want something, don't be afraid to ask. The worst thing that they're going to do is say no or not respond. And if they do say no or not respond, then that means that it just was a it's not for you. That wasn't an opportunity that was left for you because nothing that's for you is going to miss you. So you just have to always like be tenacious. Don't be afraid. Shoot your shot. If you want to connect with somebody because you like what they do, tell them, "Hey, your content is fire. I really love your editing style. Your captions make me laugh. I would love to connect with you. Can I take you out for coffee and we discuss some stuff?" Or you don't even have to do that. Just be like, "Hey, I really see what you're doing. I just really want to give you props. If you're free at some point, let's connect." Shoot your shot and odds are you're going to get exactly what you want in return. So yes, that wraps up our No Strings Attached segment. We'll be right back after this quick short break. Posh Q Consultation is a consulting and branding company that specializes in business consulting, branding, and web development. We're accepting new clients and new projects. Visit us at poshqconsult.com. Okay, and welcome back. So, we're going to get into our last segment of the episode, and that's going to be the Ask My Consultant segment. Yes. So I do have questions in the inbox, and actually just remember I need to ask this week, but I'm going to save those for the next episode, so we'll hear those then. Just because this was a little bit already planned out and I'm a little behind schedule, I want to keep everything in line. So with what we're going to talk about on the Ask My Consultant episode today, this isn't a user submitted, why did I say user? This isn't a listener submitted question. However, it's still valuable and we're gonna talk about that. So yes, if you ever have any questions that you want to ask and to hear on the podcast, please send all questions to poshtalkpod@gmail.com and I'll answer your questions on the podcast. And if you want it to be anonymous, don't worry, I won't say your name at all. However, if it's about your business or it's business related, and honestly it doesn't have to be business related, shout out your business and I'll read it on the pod. So let's get into it. So when making content, let's stop focusing on going viral and start focusing on going valuable. So it gives a little corny. However, there's a little bit of sprinkle, a little bit of glitter, a little bit of stardust in there. Okay, so we're going to get into it. So making content, a lot of us want to have that viral moment because we're like, oh yeah, we go viral. We're going to get a lot of followers. We're going to get a lot of traction, a lot of engagement. I'm going to be on Ellen show. And as we know, The Ellen show is not, it don't exist no more. Like, it's not there. We can't really do too much anymore to actually get put on TV shows when we go viral, because going viral isn't something that just happens to 1 in 5 billion. It's something that can kind of happen to any one of us, which is really cool and that's really great. However, also going viral doesn't mean that it's going to translate into dollars. Going viral just means that, you posted something and it picked up traction and a lot of people enjoyed it and a lot of people liked it, which great, congrats to you. However, a lot of people, they'll say like, yeah, I thought when I went had my first viral video that was it was going to change everything, and everything stayed exactly the same. That's because it's not really a viability issue, it's a conversion issue. And a lot of us don't actually know how to make our products convert when we share it online. A lot of people think like, oh yeah, if I just share it, people are just going to automatically find it and they're going to automatically buy stuff from my website. And I'll tell you now that that's not the case at all. Like, that doesn't happen all the time. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to kind of dig into like kind of viral content and why things go viral. So viral content is emotionally charged content, whether it's inspiring, humorous, or even just anger inducing. And that's because those are the things that are most likely to be shared. And it's not because people find things cool anymore. Sometimes it's kind of like inspirational or positive, but I find like a lot of viral things that go viral now, they're most likely just very provocative. And you have to think, okay, so this stuff is getting shared, like put in stories, sent to your mom, your grandma, all that. Why is that? And that's because it's pulling something emotionally from the users of that app. Whoever is, using it, viewing it, it's pulling on some type of heartstring, or it's making them angry, or it's making them want to cry. It's pulling on something. So as a business owner, we kind of have to think like, okay, if I want something to go viral, odds are something's not going to go viral by me just like, posting like a static image of something, or just me posting like, oh yeah, this is my plate of food that I'm selling and it's so good it's going to go viral. Odds are no, it's not. It has to be something in it that makes people be like, oh wow, like this is so different out of the ordinary. Because you just posting like a really good plate of food, there's 500 billion people posting good plates of food somewhere. Like, that's that. The things that I see get a lot of traction and go quote unquote viral or when the plates of food aren't good, or there's just a bunch of kind of like back and forth in the comments, or this plate is good or this plate is bad. And it's kind of crazy how some of the stuff goes viral, because I'm just like, okay, this isn't something that I would think that will be viral, but people have their own debates, and the internet's just not a real place sometimes. But I feel like understanding viability and how things work, that's what makes things successful as a business owner, and how we can really understand how we get content out and how we can translate that into conversions. So with that being said, I would say you have to focus on selling somebody something emotionally and not just selling them something because it's a great product. Because great products don't sell because they're good, they sell because they're life changing. They do something for someone's life where they've impacted it in such a great way, whether it's a time saver, whether it's made my husband love my food more, whether it's made me and my kids connect more, whether it's made my kids the star student in their class. That's why good products sell, not because, oh, it's cheap and it gets the job done. I mean, sometimes that's it, but great products have a much deeper story than that. And that's the secret behind things going viral. So now that we got that out the way, we're not so much focused on the viral aspect as much as we are focused on the valuable aspect. A lot of people kind of miss it when they do go viral. It's kind of like, oh yeah, you get all this attention and everything and got all these followers. Now what? There's kind of like a now what thing of, okay, so now that you have the audience of people here, now what? Like, are they buying something for you? Are you taking them to a web page? Like, what is it now? And most people lose people just like that because there was never an end goal. And there are some people who just kind of go viral and they do make it to that point, but they had to figure it out. And it's okay to figure it out after the fact. You just have to figure it out. And this necessarily isn't about like, okay, here's the steps to go viral and this is how you make money. That's not what this is. I want you to focus on conversion, understanding why things go viral so that you can make sure that you convert. Because for you to make a living and for you to actually have a successful business, you don't need 1 million followers to follow you and do that. Because just because you have 1 million followers does not mean that 1 million people are subscribing to whatever product you have and paying you any type of fee at all. It doesn't mean that they'll take one type of look or step on your website. There's plenty of girls I follow on Instagram and I've never been on their website. And it's not because, oh, I'm hating or I don't want to be there, but it's just like, oh yeah, I'm following you because I don't necessarily want your makeup brand, but I do love, what you wear or the places you go or seeing your experiences from your eyes. I follow you for that. So I'm not that type of customer that's going to buy from you. I'm probably going to be the customer that you can count in your audience bundle and you can get ad brands to promote and you do that. I'm probably going to be that type of girl that type of customer, if that makes sense. However, staying on topic, the goal is you want to create conversions. You want your content to be impactful and not boring or kind of like out of your style, but you want it to convert. So, with that being said, you just want it to be things that make sense and they don't have to go viral, but they do have to make sense for your business. So, if you're a hairstylist, you want to have content that definitely is cute, trendy. If your target demographic is Gen Z, you have to think about the things that they like, the things that they like to they just like to watch. It doesn't even have to be the things that typically goes viral for Gen Z, but just things that they like. You want to stay in that niche and you want to cater to your audience. The key is catering to your audience because once you cater to them, you can get them to convert. Because if you know that their pain points are just like, oh my gosh, I just want someone who does good hair, who has a reliable place that I can go to get my hair done. They wash hair and they're affordable. If you know those are the 3 things they want, then sell them that. And you're not going to necessarily sell them that by just, putting that on a white background, black text, like I wash hair, I do this, I do that, and I book. Honestly, that actually might be a good idea because I would book. But I do think that you have to be smart about it, and going viral is not just going to be like your bread and butter and the thing that just makes you a whole bunch of money. But the thing that is going to make you a whole bunch of money is getting people to convert. Okay, so that wraps up our episode. Know that you are loved even when you find it hard to love others and yourself. Thanks, guys, for listening to Posh Talk. Please follow our Instagram at Posh Talk Pod. If you have any questions that you would like to be answered on the pod, email us at poshtalkpod@gmail.com or DM the Instagram. Thanks, guys. Stay posh.